We're talking Black Christmas today, 1974's Bob Clark, who most of us know from A Christmas Story, directing that charming family classic.
Love it.
But here's an earlier film of his when he was not all about family and happy, joyful times.
Yeah, it's set at Christmas again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it inspired him for the later classic movie, which we all have seen, Christmas Story.
Well, Bob Clark did a number of cheap little horror movies before he graduated
to where they all start.
To movies like that. He also did Porky's, of course.
You know, I've never seen it.
Oh, well, I'm not necessarily saying you should, but it was a revered classic back in
yes, and
early
I'm sure
1980.
low budget, I'm sure made a bucket load of money.
But anyway, came out in 1974. Gene, where are you at with Black Christmas?
1974, Black Christmas. Yeah, it's a Christmas season, so let's do some Christmas horror, you know. So I got to say, sometimes I think your perception of your actors and actresses can maybe skew your vision of the whole movie. And I don't know if I'm guilty of this, but I just got to say, there are 3 actors in this movie. And I'll just go over them one by one. There's Olivia Hussey, who, and I got to say, these 3 actors starred in what I consider, and I think also it might be generally considered as well among movie-going critics or people who know movies well, that these are some of the top 3 movies of all time. And these 3 actors are in the same movie. And it's this movie, Black Christmas. I just saw Olivia Hussey. In 1968, she was in Zeffirelli's authoritative version of Romeo and Juliet. We've all seen it. Well, and if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Some people's the best version of Romeo and Juliet ever made. So, and Olivia Hussey's in it.
Gene, did you see about recently how Olivia Hussey brought the lawsuit?
$500 million lawsuit. Yeah, I don't know what that was all about. Considering
underage nudity.
So, considering they brought this lawsuit out like just a few years ago. And that movie was made in 1968, so I don't know about that. But the judge got thrown it. The judge threw it out.
Yeah.
Then also, next actor is Keir Dullea. In 1968, he was in Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't know what to even say about the greatness of that movie. It's not really about space or robots, but really ultimately it's about humanity. And then finally, John Saxon, who might be overlooked, but in 1978, he starred with Bruce Lee in Enter the Dragon. And if you're like that genre of movies, Bruce Lee made a lot of movies. There's a lot of kung fu movies, but Enter the Dragon just takes it to an entirely another level. And again, all these movies are old. Again, Olivia Hussey, 1968, Romeo and Juliet, Keir Dullea, 1968, 2001: A Space Odyssey, John Saxon, 1973, Enter the Dragon. All these movies stand the test of time. You could watch them all today, and they're all great. And so watching this movie, I was thinking to myself, am I a little skewed by this? I love these actors so much. I think it's the movie, getting to the movie, it's slow and it's predictable. But in my opinion, what makes great movies is great scenes. And some movies, it's just like one great scene from one to another. It's just, some movies just fulfill that category. But in this movie, it's kind of predictable. It has some cool characters, like the drinking sorority mom. It's like, where did that come from?
Margot Kidder, who I assumed you would include in your little 3 actors.
No, Margot Kidder was in the original Superman with Christopher Reeve in 1978, but I would not consider that to be anywhere near the level of the other 3 movies I mentioned.
And Gene, I just have to throw in, you kind of are my hero today for including John Saxon. So that was awesome. Good work.
Yeah, John Saxon, Enter the Dragon.
And Invasion of the Flesh Hunters as well. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, John Saxon has a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
All these guys are
awesome.
tons and tons of movies. Yeah, but then later on, as this movie progresses, you just like it. It's just like it wears on you a little bit, and then after a while, you're like totally into it. And then there's the scene where they're on the phone, and they're in a sorority, right? And so there's somebody who's calling in and giving obscene calls, and so yeah, this was one particular scene where the police are involved and they're trying to trace this call, and it doesn't suck. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big plot twist at the end, so just watch the movie, stay with it. In the beginning, it's a little slow, like I said, but yeah, I think you'll like this. I really like this movie.
It does have the 70s filmmaking vibe.
Yeah, it does.
Because the slowness Gene is talking about, well, that's a lot of movies from that era where it was about building character, and things don't have to happen at this rapid-fire pace, and it's really trying to build the tension. All the girls in it, Andrea Martin is also in this, which is strange if you know her exclusively from her comedy work through SCTV. So it was interesting to see her in a straightforward, serious horror role for as long as she lasts.
Yeah. Which character was that?
She was the girl with the glasses that...
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
But to me, this is kind of the historical value of this film is really which is what makes it a recommendation, because really the entire slasher template is kind of pulled from this movie. You've got the red herrings going on.
Right.
You've got the final girl who's discovering the corpses of all her friends.
Right.
You've got all of those kind of tropes that would be seen to all the time.
It's repeated over and over again in all the slasher movies. Yeah. I read that too. Is that when I was reading about this movie? It's one of the original slasher movie.
It's not the original, but it's really the one that set kind of the template. There are, because you could even go back to Psycho, kind of setting some templates for slashers later on.
Sure,
but this is the first one where, yep, I'm watching this, and this is really playing every other slasher I've ever seen after it. So it is a little bit ahead of its time as far as being in 1974, and really slashers didn't start rolling until 78 with Halloween kicking off, Friday the 13th and all those other ones. But Gene's right. The quality of the acting in this, how this director was able to acquire all of these people is kind of interesting.
Saxon.
So he catches them kind of all at the right time, whether they were just signing on just to, hey, I can get a quick paycheck so I can get a new car or something, I don't know. But they all give it true performances.
They do.
Right?
And then this movie was shot in a very short period of time for a low budget.
Yeah. And like Gene was saying, there's this creepy phone calls going on, and then people start missing. And unlike a lot of slasher movies where it's just, where did Bill go? And, I don't know, let's not talk about it anymore. No, they're actively searching, and they've got the police
The movie
involved.
makes sense.
And stuff like that. And I think the setting of the little sorority house, it's a really cool house, and there's lots of places for people to hide and things like that. And so they've got a real creepy vibe there. It's playing off the old the calls coming from inside the house, babysitter kind of thing that we've heard about before.
Right.
And so it's just, I highly recommend it, especially if you are a horror film historian or whatever. If you've never seen this movie before, you have to see it because of its historical value. But it's also an enjoyable watch. It takes you back to a time when filmmakers really cared more about slow character development, which gets you invested in their plight, and some creepy atmosphere going on. It is not a Friday the 13th movie where every 6 minutes we have to have some death set piece, right?
Right.
And characters act generally normally, and so you don't have any weird stuff like let's run upstairs to trap ourselves so the killer can kill us, stuff like that,
Exactly. We've seen TV commercials on that. But this movie's great. It makes sense. The characters behave in how people would behave, and that's one of my huge criticisms of some movies is people acting in a non-human way. Because we're all people. We kind of know how humans act, and and they act appropriately in this movie, and it's kind of refreshing to see that. So I really like that in this movie. And again, it's just at the end, it's like they're all behaving appropriately, and a lot of creepy things are going on. There's this murder that happens, and doesn't seem to be related, but you wonder, is it related?
Right.
And this movie is one of those movies that you can think and talk about after it ends, which is an opposition to a lot of slasher movies that have come recently, or even then. It's like once the movie ends, you're just done. You know, it's time to move on to your next thing. I mean, you're talking to your friends and you're talking about the Bronco game, you know? Mm-hmm. But no, this thing, you can actually, when it's over, there's some depth there, and the movie doesn't have a definitive ending. It's good because that also is like, one thing I'll bring up is that people act like people, but sometimes what that means is oftentimes people are not correct. And so there is a big plot twist at the end, and you just, because you think that Olivia Hussey is just the main star, of course. You know, she just has plot armor and all that, and nothing's going to happen to her. But then at the plot twist at the end makes you wonder, I wonder. Maybe I won't give it away, but yeah.
Yeah, and I just think the way it ends is also kind of, here's your slasher style ending where you think it's over, but it's not over, and maybe we'll make a sequel at some point. This movie did not make a sequel, but it's made 2 remakes. Did you see either of the remakes?
There's a movie of this very title, I think it's on Netflix. It's very modern.
So
but I have not seen that one.
There's a 2006 remake, and then one that I think is 2019. I haven't seen the 2019 one because I heard it was terrible, and it's also rated PG-13. But the 2006 one, the only thing I can say about that one is, one, the gore is greatly increased in that one. But 2, for those of you that are trapped into that nightmare that is the Hallmark Channel, like if you've got a wife that just loves the Hallmark Channel.
Which is, I'll just give it away, it's Roger's wife.
Right.
Loves Hallmark.
Horror all on its own, different venue there. But Lacey, and I don't know her last name, it's either Chaubert or Chaubert, is in like every one of these Hallmark movies, right? Yeah. They're all the same plot, and there's Lacey.
Well, she was in Mean Girls.
And she's doing her thing.
Right? Was she Mean Girls?
But
the original?
Yeah.
Right?
But in this Black Christmas remake, for those of us trapped watching Hallmark movies with our wife, Lacey gets horribly, horribly killed in this. So it is a kind of a fun little watch, you know.
On the AMC network.
Nowhere near the quality of the original Black Christmas, of course, but if you're bored, it's good to watch her character get killed.
On a big aside there, okay. But yeah, I really like this movie. Yeah, you definitely watch it. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I think, again, if you are a horror completionist, horror aficionado, if you really like slashers and haven't seen this one kind of set the groundwork for a lot of slashers to follow. It's filmed well. I like a lot of the camera work when the intruder is moving around and things like that.
Good stuff.
They do some good work there. There's this big staircase that comes down, and the phone is right at the bottom there, so there's a lot of good shots of someone's on the phone, and then you get these scenes from up top, and so it's well done.
Yeah, and one thing I'll say this is that oftentimes a lot of modern movies, they just blow it in this category. It's just cinematography, and especially as lighting. You know, as I've grown older, you know, I decided to pursue photography as a career, and exposure, lighting is everything. Mm-hmm. And AMC's a big violator is that it's just flat lighting, but a lot of modern movies they do this. The lighting's flat, it's unrealistic, and you just tell that they just got the set and they just flooded it with lights, killing all the shadows. And it just kills the movie because it's just so unrealistic. I just hate it. But this movie, like you said, the cinematography is just great. How they use the shadows to really accentuate the story. It's good stuff.
Well, and I think too, modern movies are getting a little too reliant on fixing things in post, and let's just CGI this, and nothing's really real. One of the beauties of these older films, of course, is if you wanted a scene with 40 people in it, you had to go find
Yeah,
40 people
40
and
people.
put them in there, and things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
And
green
so-
screens, yeah.
Yeah, and so there's nothing like that going on in here. It's all real stuff really happening as they were filming it, and it's a relief sometimes, or a joy sometimes, to
It's a
go
joy.
back to times like that where it's like it's pleasing on your eyes, because you're not
Yeah,
like, oh,
and
that's
saying
not real.
that, it's like the new Avatar's coming out, and it's just, are you kidding me? It's like that whole movie was shot in green screen. It's like it's your comment to the exponential degree.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm going to watch that movie. Because I saw the first one, why do you need to watch? And I saw the second one too. But there's no way I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I did not see
No
the
way.
second one of that, and
You
I
can
think
skip it.
the
There's no new territory at all.
well, the primary driver for me with Avatar and certain other movies is, oh, it's in 3D, I'm going to see it.
right.
My understanding is this new one is not in 3D. So there's
know.
absolutely no reason I'm going to go see that
Well,
one.
there you go. Don't see it.
But anyway, Gene, any final things about Black Christmas?
Again, I would say watch Black Christmas. But if you haven't seen Olivia Hussey's 1968 Romeo and Juliet, you've got to see it. I mean, if you haven't seen 2001: A Space Odyssey, I don't know what's wrong with you. See that. And then also John Saxon, Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. My gosh, you got to see these movies. I don't know. Throw in Margot Kidder, the original Superman, Christopher Reeve, 1978.
Sure, I just think
It's kind of, it's campy, but it's kind of fun campy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
well, and I think John Saxon, is he in the movie? Hit play. Right, because
Yeah,
you're going to be
pretty much.
in for a good time.
Pretty much.
He really went deep into a lot of B exploitation movies. 99% of the time, if his name is associated, you're going to have a good time.
He adds a lot to this movie.
Yeah. So I also highly recommend Black Christmas. Definitely worth your watch. Of course, it's the holiday season, so no better time to watch than now. The kids have gone off to bed, and you don't have to watch Frosty the Snowman, so you can hit play on Black Christmas.
There you go. Yeah, or watch the Abominable Snowman movie I've watched that movie every year since I probably was 8 years old.
The red-nosed reindeer guy.
Yeah, I
So-
love that one. But definitely watch. Well, Roger, what are we doing next
Well,
week?
so Gene wants to do another Christmas-related movie, and there's no scenario that I can think of where he would want to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Let's do this. Let's watch. I think there's this movie called Black or Christmas Horror or something like that.
Are you talking Christmas Evil?
No, it's Christmas Horror. Something like that. Sorry, I should have written it down. I should have researched it.
Apparently.
But maybe something like that. But then also, let's just do a little snippet just to make Roger happy. We'll talk about Silent Night, Deadly Night for just 5 minutes.
Well, Gene, that's about the amount of footage you saw from that movie. There is a new one out right now, an actual remake that's getting decent reviews.
No, it would stick to the original.
Well, yeah, no, I can't. I don't have time to go rush and see that one.
Yeah, so we're going to review Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then also something else. We'll do a double feature next week.
All right, very good.
Yeah.
We will catch you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.